Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's show, Philippines Tzu Chi volunteers are conducting disaster survey in Rizal province and providing emotional support to flood victims. As Tzu Chi's recycling station are needing more space to store recyclables, we take a look at the bottle compressor that is designed to do the task. And we join the closing ceremony of the 2012 Tzu Chi International Humanitarian Aid Seminar and see the changes in the participants. On August 12th, Tzu Chi volunteers arrived in Rizal province in the Philippines to conduct a disaster assessment as 80% of the area was flooded. In the municipality of Taytay, about 50,000 households still travel around using rafts. Meanwhile, after Typhoon Kasana in 2009, the government encouraged many residents to move to the municipality of Rodriguez. However, this time around, this area was also flooded.
This is the municipality of Rodriguez in the Philippines. Over here, there are about 1,150 households. If each household has around 4 to 5 people, then there are approximately 6,000 people living here. The recent heavy rainfall flooded this area, and the water level reached almost to the roof. During the disaster, many local residents climbed up to their roofs to wait for help. We can see on the roof there are many uneven areas. That's because there were so many people up there at one point. Now that the waters have receded, mud is left everywhere. The government has sent out machines to help out, and the local residents have also returned home to clean up.
We
have nothing left. Everything is broken. Inside my house, we are left in knee-high mud.
Including kitchen and bathroom, this family lives in a building that is about 30 square meters. After Typhoon Kasana, this family decided to move to the municipality of Rodriguez from Taytay. Unfortunately, the recent heavy rainfall has flooded this area too. The volunteers also traveled to the municipality of Taytay, located 38 kilometers away from Rodriguez. In 2009, Typhoon Kasana flooded the area for more than 3 months. Since then, the government has labeled the area as non-livable. However, with more job opportunities around this area, many have decided to risk their lives. Since many residents don't want to move, the government can only come up with temporary plan.
This area,
We have about 50,000 households living over here. We should have a pumping station. If we have a pumping station, then we can pump away the excess water.
Currently in Rizal province, the government and local residents are working hard to rebuild their homes. Tzu Chi volunteers not only provided residents with emotional support, but also promised to give further assistance if needed.
Philippines Tzu Chi volunteers recently held a relief distribution at the Old Balara Elementary School in Quezon City, helping a total of 1,040 households. The relief supplies include the straw mats, pots, and 10 kilograms of rice. Local volunteer Marie, also a teacher at the school, took part in the distribution and shared with residents the importance of recycling.
This is the scene at the Old Balara Elementary School. Today, the local residents are not here to get hot meals, but to receive daily necessities from Tzu Chi. Today, the event is joined by a Tzu Chi recycling volunteer, Lemma, who is also a teacher at the school. Seeing the recent disaster, it strengthened her decision to encourage more people to practice recycling.
As a Filipino, when I looked at the weather outside, and hear on the news that many have died, I am very sad, but I can only pray and hope everyone can be alert.
A recycling area is set up in the classroom so children can sort their garbage. Marie, who is a teacher at Old Balara Elementary School, is also Tzu Chi's first volunteer in the school.
We label the bags and they will be distributed to each class tomorrow. It is easier for us to count the numbers.
Understanding the benefits of recycling, every Saturday in the school, there are about 200 to 300 people practicing recycling, not only to reduce the burden on our earth, but also to help those in need.
Also in the Philippines, building on their experience in the aftermath of Typhoon Kasana, Tzu Chi volunteers on August 10th started another round of work relief programs, this time in Barangay Tatalon, Quezon City. Currently, there are already 400 people participating.
Under the mud and garbage is what was once a road. As the floodwaters recede from Quezon City, residents are left facing a city covered in mud and the threat of an infectious disease outbreak on the horizon.
We are worried there might be an outbreak of disease such as leptospirosis or skin problems, so we need to clean this up as soon as possible.
Almost no one was spared the effect of the flooding, and to help the city clean up, Tzu Chi initiated a new round of work relief programs on August 10th.
We thought of the work relief program started by Mr. Zheng Yan, and so we quickly got it started. We hope to get around 500 who are willing to clean up their community.
With previous experience in 2009 following Typhoon Kansane, very soon 400 people have signed up to the relief work program to help clean up their community for $7 a day.
Our community has already been flooded for 2 days. Right now I'm unemployed, so decided to come join Tzu Chi's work relief program. It will help our family a lot and will help our community recover.
To assist in the cleanup, the government also sent over heavy machinery. Thanks to their efforts, Quezon City's streets have returned to normal and the city is on its way to making a full recovery.
To allow more space in Tzu Chi's recycling station and reduce the need to transport recyclables, Tzu Chi has been working with the Industrial Technology Research Institute to design a bottle compressor. Volunteers and researchers hope to come up with an easy-to-use, safe, and environmentally friendly machine. Today, the newly designed bottle compressor can squash 600 plastic bottles into one stack, reducing storage space by up to 90%.
In Taiwan, 90,000 tons of plastic bottles are recycled each year, which is equivalent to 4.5 billion 600 ml PET bottles. The tens of thousands of plastic bottles and tin cans takes up a lot of space, and Tzu Chi volunteers step on these bottles for easy storage. To speed up their work, volunteers from different recycling stations designed their own compressor. However, one may question the safety of these machines. As well as whether these compressors are environmentally friendly. Thus, Tzu Chi is working with the Industrial Technology Research Institute to come up with a better design.
On a sizzling hot day like this, recycling volunteers have to sort garbage in the heat. I believe researchers, knowing the working conditions of our volunteers, will be full of compassion and love when designing the machines and be inspired to create a suitable compressor for our volunteers.
On February 13, 2011, ITRI completed its first bottle compressor, and the machine was taken to the Hsinchu recycling station for testing. In June on the following year, a revised bottle compressor was developed. One basket can hold 75 plastic bottles, and 8 baskets of PET bottles can be compressed into one stack. A stack of compressed plastic bottles only takes 11 minutes and 35 seconds to complete. The stack of compressed bottles saves 90% of space and only weighs 15 kilos, which is easy to carry for most volunteers.
There's 600 bottles in one stack, and in one truckload, we are able to fit 24 stacks, which is equivalent to 14,400 PET bottles. When the bottles are loose, we won't fit more than 8,000 in one truck, but now we are saving a lot of space and petrol.
The bottle compressor not only saves space and petrol, but also saves time.
We are saving 90% of the space we used to use, and regardless of the scale of our recycling station, we are able to clear out many areas for storage. As well, we don't have to travel as much because we can now transport over 10,000 bottles in one go.
In the United States, the new Jingsi Books and Cafe in San Diego, California, is not only decorated with recycled materials and selling green products, but even the employees have to be environmentally conscious. Many of the employees might have recycled little or none in the past, but since working there, things have changed.
I used to be one of those people who had the idea that, why should I be the one to pick up the trash, or why should I be the one to recycle? It's not like me by myself. It's not like I can save the environment by myself. So my actions make no difference.
These are the employees of the first Jingsi Books and Cafe, situated in a man-made green zone in San Diego, California. As pioneers in protecting the environment, the questions they faced during the job interview were a little different.
I try to reduce energy usage, water usage, and I try to recycle as much as I can. Very simple action. You just fold one piece of the paper towel in half. In that way, you can dry your hands very well.
It's especially important for them to practice environmental protection, because how else would they be able to convince others to do the same?
The area near the new San Diego Library, where the bookstore is located, is home to many white-collar residents, law school students, and recent graduates.
What I was planning to do with my math major was, become an actuary, financial analyst, sort of financial risk analyst. You get to make money. But working here has a different feel to it, because you know that you are trying to make a difference.
This bookstore actually serves another purpose, and that's to cultivate good habits. I've seen changes for the better in our employees, like practicing sorting recyclables when they return home.
See how can we squeeze everything together. Not make it though, this one. How can I get in there?
I have seen how college students live, and I know that a lot of them do just dump recyclables in the trash bin, or sometimes they don't even bother with that. Sometimes they'll just go on the ground when they think no one's watching. By having Ecoverse, I think I'm hoping that it will have the same effect on other people that it had on me, which was, there's other people out there doing it with you, so you can make a difference.
A small group of thoughtful and committed people can change the world.
It does matter what you do.
The 2012 Tzu Chi International Humanitarian Aid Seminar successfully concluded last Sunday, August 12, in Hualien, Taiwan. The three-day workshop helped entrepreneurs, professionals, and scholars from different countries to better understand Tzu Chi's humanitarian spirits.
The fourth Tzu Chi International Humanitarian Aid Seminar successfully concluded last Sunday, August 12th, with entrepreneurs and scholars from 4 countries around the globe.
My husband is a diabetic, and he's about 170 centimeters tall. And he had many other related illnesses. Through taking on a meatless diet, our lives have improved.
Prior to coming to Hualien, the deputy director of the Taiwan Textile Federation, Huang Shuhui, was feeling frustrated in her career. However, the selfless giving spirit of the Jingsi Boats Dharma Masters inspired Huang.
This is a great karma, because I can only think about how painful life was, but a Jingsi abode master told me to be willing to do and happy to bear. I was totally inspired by this concept.
Setting aside their success, entrepreneurs all hope to put their skills and expertise to good use to help those in need.
我们国家的精英、社会的精英，大家呢聚一堂，都是为爱无所求的付出，这种无所求的大爱付出，造福人群，造福人类，这都是我们人世间最光明而且是最温馨的一面。
Coming together for a good cause, the Tzu International Humanitarian Aid Association hopes to reach out to every corner of our society.
Following Typhoon Morakot, many indigenous people decided to leave their homelands for the government housing available off the mountain. For some, it was an economic consideration, while for others, it means a better life and education opportunities for their children. Despite the difficulties and loneliness, now many of the families have finally adapted to life off the mountain.
Using Bunong tribe's native tongue to sing for their guests are the children's choir of the local DaAi Elementary School. These children will later win an award for their singing, but more important than winning, for these children, the songs are a way to get in touch with their roots and come to terms with leaving their traditional homeland behind following Typhoon Morakot.
哪一科最好玩？数学吗？
This is Ling Sen-kun, who will become a second grader after this summer. When Typhoon Morakot hit, Sen-kun was only 3 years old. Together with his mother, grandmother and 2 siblings, they fled Namasha for safer heavens. Growing up in a government-constructed house, he now only lives 5 minutes from school.
In the mountains, the children have to go quite a distance to get to school, usually around 20 minutes by walking. Now, to return to the village, it takes about 30 minutes by car.
For Ling's mother, seeing her children safely in school was a major reason for her to come down from the mountain and move into the government-assisted housing. However, it was not an easy transition.
I was afraid of facing the outside world and of not finding a job. I also had to split up with my husband as he decided to go back to the village.
Dachi's experience is mirrored in many here who have loved ones both off and on the mountain. For Dachi, in addition to dealing with the psychological trauma of leaving home, she has also had to worry about providing for her family. Currently, she works as a seamstress for a living.
This is going to be an embroidered bag. I have added a few modern-day elements inside, so the feeling is not the same.
This is one of the most honorable totems of our tribe. I have taken some of its elements and added them to the piece.
For others, it is work with glass or rattan that helps pay the bills and brings economic stability to their families.
Coming down from the mountain, your work and everything else changes, so you need to change with it. Only then can you succeed.
The hardest part was learning to adapt.
For the past 3 years, these tribe members have slowly learned to adapt to their new environment thanks to their patience and love. Now having learned to stand on their own 2 feet, they look forward to what the future may bring.
On August 4th, the Tzu Qishan Liaison Office in Kaohsiung, Taiwan, held an auspicious month celebration and invited the children from Shanling DaAi community to participate. The day before the event, the children helped out in writing good deeds cards in hopes of bringing blessings to others during the celebration.
Participating in Ghost Month celebrations, these children from the Sanling DaAi community in Kaohsiung, Taiwan, have raised high their good deeds card to solidify their wishes. Rewinding to yesterday, these children have been preparing for the celebrations for a while now. Posture, practicing walking in, and, of course, making sure that the good deeds cards have lotus flowers drawn on them. All are the results of the hard work of these children.
I drew 60 lotus flowers and helped my mother cook dinner and clean up the house.
These students, when they are older, are the future of our community.
With the students' wholehearted participation in the Ghost Month celebrations, the adults hope that as future of the Sanling DaAi community, these children will retain what they have learned here today.
This year, the Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter in Malaysia received over 8,200 applicants for its new Shoot Scholarship program. Local volunteers were all mobilized to visit the homes of applicants before the new semester starts. Despite the difficulties and distance, Tzu Chi volunteers visited every potential scholarship recipient.
On Sunday morning, close to 100 Tzu Chi volunteers gathered at the Sri Damansara retreat of Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Soon they will set off to conduct home visitations for evaluating new Shoot Scholarship applicants. This year, the community of Sri Damansara received over 1,200 applications. To ensure the home visitations were completed in the shortest period of time, the volunteers visited homes of scholarship applicants both day and night.
Damansara has the highest number of scholarship applications in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor, so we mobilized all volunteers to visit their homes during the evening, and then we went to the more remote areas in the daytime.
The volunteers carry out home visitation in teams of 3, as well as support other teams that are short-handed.
Sometimes we need volunteers' support from different areas as our capacity and numbers are limited. Once we have got other volunteers' help, we can get the work done.
Although the volunteers may get lost or face language barriers when visiting the students' homes, they still find the work beneficial.
This home visiting is a very beneficial thing to me because by visiting our students' house only we know what is actually happening to them. I really like it. I enjoy doing it because it's a way to open my eyes to see my students.
The home visitations not only help those students in need, but also bring the volunteers a clear sense of achievement.
At the end of the show, we stay in Malaysia, but go to the Tzu Chi Malacca chapter, where Tzu Chi volunteers held the auspicious month blessing ceremonies, joined by 632 residents. The volunteers performed sections of the Water Repentance Sutra and hope to inspire the participants to see the Ghost Month with a more positive perspective. That's all the time we have for. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.